Problem number 56, merge intervals. So given an array of intervals where intervals of I is start and end, merge all overlapping intervals and return an array of the non-overlapping intervals that cover all the intervals in the input. So if we take this as an example, we have this array. We should return this because, as you can see, we have 1 to 3 and 2 to 6. There are some sort of intervals, like since 1 to 3 and 2 to 6 overlap because 1 starts end and 3, and we have 2 and 6. We can add 1 and 6 to merge all overlaps. So to make small problem recap, you have a list of intervals. Each interval is represented as an array of two numbers, the start and end times. Your task is to merge any overlapping intervals and return a list of merged intervals. So so an example of that. So this is what we talk about because the intervals 1 to 3 and 2 to 6 overlap, so they are merged to 1 to 6 as we said before. So the step to solve this problem, it comes through, like, I would say it will come to in two steps. The first one is to sort the intervals. So first we sort the intervals by their starting time. This way, any overlapping intervals will be next to each other. So I guess 1, 2, 8 to 10. I guess this one is already sorted, so there is no need to resort everything. After that, we should merge the intervals. So we can create an empty list to store the merge intervals. So we can create a new empty list here. And after that, we should go through intervals in the sorted list and check if it overlaps with the last intervals in the merge list. So can we start here, looping from the index 1, and we'll try to compare it with its previous. And after that, we do it with compare it with its previous, and do this with the last element, and so on and so forth. So if after comparing the intervals with each other, if it overlaps, we should merge the intervals by updating the end time of the last intervals in the merged list. So we have this one, so we update it, will be 1 to 6. We add the 1 here and add 6, and continue to add the rest. And if it doesn't overlap, for example, we have 8, 10, and 6 here, they doesn't overlap. So we add the current intervals to the merge list, and that's it. So let's do this in the code. First, I will make some assumption for each cases. So if intervals dot length equals 0, I should return an empty array. Okay. I sort the intervals first. The sort, it will be A and B, and I will make it it will be sorted by its starting values. The start values lives at the first item, so it will be A of 0 minus B of 0, and I will start to merge. This is a step 2, which is to merge. So I'll create an array called merge. I'll call it merge R. Okay, and it's an array. And should return this one, because I always forgot to return the values. I'll create another one, which will be lit. It will be the last interval. It will be a tracker or a pointer. which will equals the intervals of 0. Let's call it lost. Let's call it lost. So it will be way more easier to understand. So I will create a for loop. I'll say let I equals 1, because starting at the first index, I should be less than I intervals the length, and I plus plus. So I will make a const current interval. I will call it current, which will equals the intervals of I. And after that, I will make an if statement. So if the current of 0, if the starting point of the current interval is less than or equal to the last starting point, that means we have overlapping. So what we should do, we should merge the overlap. How we do that? We first update the last. So the last will equals last of 1 will equal, sorry, last sorry if the start is less than or bigger than the end, we should update the end of the last to equals math the min max, sorry, math dot max, because we want the bigger one. It will be current of 1 and last of 1. And yeah, exactly, that's it. And if that wasn't the case, we merge the push I will put the last interval, and yeah, that's it. I'll put the last, and I will reassign the last to equals the current, and at the end I need to add the last interval as well, because the end one here will not be added. So let's just add this one as well. So we will merge, exactly, let's do this. It is the same. Let's submit and see. It didn't work at all. Why is not a function? It's merge array, not merge. There's something wrong. What did I do wrong? It's basically I did something terribly wrong. Let's see why. We have merge array the push last, and we have here merge array the push last again. Last will equals current, and last of 1 will be equals math the max current of 1 and last of 1. And we say that if the current of the starting point is less than or equal the last point, we should expect to have we have the current, we have I equals 1, I is more than intervals the length, and I plus plus, and we have lost it intervals of 0, and we have the merge array, and we sorted a 0 and b of 0. Why it's not working? Oh, I guess there is something terribly I've done. I did a terrible thing, but I don't know what. Let me think. First we have the merge array. We have the sorted. We sort. After that we need to merge. Did we sort it right? I guess yeah. Okay. Did we sort it right? I guess yeah. After that we should we have merge and the last which is equals I have 0. We have let I equals 1, I less than intervals of the length and I plus plus intervals, right? Intervals, and we get current, and the current will equals intervals of I, and if current of 0 is small, the start point small, that means last of 1, the end point will equals max last and current. After that else we push, and the last will equals current and merge the push and return the merged array. What did the thing that I did wrong? I'll be honest, I don't know. Let me look at the solution that I prepared and just to try to reconnect again. Let's submit. Okay, it's a quite weird because I guess I did follow the same everything in the solution that I created, but I don't know why it didn't work at the beginning, to be honest. But it is the same, but why it didn't work? If the last has not max, I don't know, but let's just try to explain the code again. So first we saw the intervals here. In this one, we saw the intervals based on the start values of each interval. After that, we initialize the merged array. In this one, an array hold the merged intervals, and we have the last intervals. This one start with the first intervals as the initial interval to compare to others. So you can think about this one as a pointer. After that, we iterate through the intervals. So we have for each interval, we check if it overlaps with the interval within the last interval, to be honest. And we start if it overlaps, which is if the start is less than or equal the end, that means it overlaps. If it overlaps, we merge them by updating the end of the last interval. If it doesn't overlap, we add the last interval to the merge array and update the last interval to the current interval. And after that, we add the last interval, like after the loop here, add the last interval to the merge array. This solution efficiently merges overlapping intervals in a time complexity of O of n log n due to the sorting step followed by a linear scan, making it suitable for large inputs. So that's it for this video, and hope you like my content.